Hey there, we're here at 5114 in Northwest Gainesville. Just giving you a quick shot of the road and the immediate neighbors. It's a cute little area. It's wooded, everything's mature, so, lots of big trees and whatnot, but it's a nice little neighborhood. All right. The house looks good. They've definitely cleaned it. It's been cleaned and gotten ready for showing. It's got a new roof and new AC, water heater, paint. There's some new flooring on the inside. Like I said, everything's very clean. Gutter needs to be cleaned out, but that is no big deal. Got a little slab right here. There's the septic clean out, so the drain field must go out that way. All right, this is T111 siding. Walk in the front door, and to the right immediately is the kitchen. There's a pocket door, and there are several pocket doors in here. Somebody was very conscious about making sure that you didn't have wasted space due to doors having to swing wide. So anyway, here's the kitchen right to the right. I do love that this is big and open into the family room. So it's got a nice big, it almost reminds you of an island right here because there's that lip, the counter there where you could put stools and you could sit, but the appliances are all fairly new. You've got dishwasher, stove, and fridge that are all Whirlpool. Oh, nope, the fridge is GE. Microwave in the corner. Bay window here for a little, maybe two-seater breakfast table, and then it's got this built-in pantry per se, but I'm going to show you in just a second. There's another pantry right there. I'm sure you notice in the photos that the cabinets and countertops throughout the house are dated. They're all original. Again, though, the house has been very well maintained. It is clean for the age, and especially the things that are original. Nobody abused this house, which is a plus. So these might not be everybody's favorite, but they look great, for what they are. They definitely could be, you could just move right in and carry on until, one day down the road you were ready to upgrade if you wanted. This door right here goes into the garage. It's pretty straightforward. Got your garage door opener. There's a side door that goes outside. This is where your laundry area is. It does have a washer and dryer. There's the water heater that is new. Everything is gas. Well, not everything. The water heater and the furnace are both gas and both new. So that's good. It's not a huge garage. It is a standard 2-car, but we've got some built-in shelves and things on this side. It would be a tight fit. It'd have to be 2 compact cars or 1 car of any size. Or, like me, just storage. This door was, what I was saying a second ago was the pantry, which is nice because you've got that built-in one over there as well. So quite a bit of storage here in the kitchen area. We walk this way and go into the living space. This is the area where all the new flooring was put down. It's nice. I mean, it's a laminate. Pretty sure. I don't think, unless it's vinyl plank, I'll have to check. But it's a nice light color, so it's airy and bright. This room does have a vaulted ceiling area. The family room kind of bleeds out into that, which was at some point a screened porch, I'm sure. But it does kind of open this whole area up, and that sort of gives you extra living space over there. This way is the master suite, and then that way are the guest bedrooms and bath. So we'll start over here. One thing I do like about the master is it has its own little vaulted ceiling, and that really makes the room feel bigger, which is nice. It's not a bad size. So, and the vault helps. You could definitely put a king size bed in here and whatever, furniture. Leads into the ensuite. You do have a separate area for the shower and toilet. It's a walk-in shower. Again, this is all original, and I can't complain. I always am looking, especially when you've got original stuff like this. And it's all been recaulked. Somebody, like I said, somebody really went over this house and got it ready, and did a nice job. There's a window in here, so brings a little light in. That's nice. The flooring in the kitchen and bathrooms is original. It's pretty old school tile. There's your sink, your vanity and sink area for the master. Just one sink. And then a little walk-in closet. One nice thing that they did when they put this new floor down is they put new trim down. I so appreciate that. There's nothing worse than somebody going in and putting new flooring down and putting the old beat up trim back down. So, right back through here. So here's our living space. Again, love that the kitchen has this giant opening that pass through. Just really makes it feel open. I would have to say this room, somebody would really need to take some measurements. Depends on what kind of furniture you have. It's the question of where does the TV go and, the couches, alongside that. Some people must have had the TV on this wall. And that while that would work fine as far as space, now you've got your back to the fireplace. So nobody's looking at the fireplace. You could also put your furniture here and do an L along here. Give yourself enough space to walk through here, and then you could put an L-shaped setup, and then put your TV up, mount a TV up there. So those are the two options. I guess you could somehow figure out how to put a TV out here. It would be on a stand or something, but all these windows generally make it difficult because there's so much glare. But I do love this room. There's a little bit of a step down because they raised up the floor quite a bit. It's not as deep a step as it would be, walking this original porch, but it's about 2 inches. Anyway, I love the little ledge around the edge. I know that it's not like you're going to load it up with all kind of stuff, but it gives it some character. And all these windows just keep it nice and bright out here. I'm a reader, ex-English teacher, so I could see a lot of little reading corners and whatnot in here. So it also makes this room in here feel bigger, and that's always a plus too. So we'll go in here and then we'll go out back. So your 2 guest bedrooms, I would have to say the one drawback that I would bring up about this house is the guest bedrooms. They're not big. They are not big. I would venture to say a twin bed would be fine, and you could put, like if you had a twin bed going that way, you could put a dresser here, but you're not putting too much more than that. You could put a twin bed, from that corner down, and you could put a nightstand beside it, and you could have, dressers here. I don't know if you went full bed, you may or may not be able to. You probably couldn't put the nightstand because you would be coming right up against this doorway. You could put the bed on that wall, kind of out. Now you're going to lose most of your room for dressers. That's the only tough part, I think. If you are good with single beds, like if you don't have any kids or if you have small children, I have lived in many a house when my children were growing up, and we just needed single beds, and this would be fine. But if you have somebody that wants to throw their king size bed in a bedroom, that would be tough. You could do it, but you wouldn't have any room for anything else. So. Pretty traditional bifold closet doors in both rooms. There's fans in most of these rooms too. Here's the guest bath. Another single sink. This one has a tub shower combo. Again, very clean. There's no cracks in any of this tile that's been here for 30 or 40 years. It all, like I said, I can't complain. I can usually find some kind of little water damage or something. But to the naked eye so far, I haven't seen much. I mean, it's even clean back behind the toilets and all. Little medicine cabinet there. Here's the pocket doors I mentioned. You can close off the spare bedrooms, which I do appreciate that. If you had somebody who just wanted, let's say you had a roommate that wanted this end and they were going to use one as a bedroom and another one as a sitting room, and this was their bathroom, they could have closed this off and make it a little more private. But even the spare bedrooms have pocket doors. And I don't mind that. I think that was pretty, especially since the bedrooms, and that probably is why, because the bedrooms were already small. And so if we had to have space for these doors to open into the bedroom and back, that would not work. Let's take a peek outside. Got your little magnetic screened cover under the door. There's a little concrete patio out here. Put your grill, put a little table, chairs, whatever you want. New fence, which is lovely. Not a lot of grass. You'd have to try to get some grass going. I don't see why it would be a problem, because it's not like you're under some huge dense tree canopy back here, so just needs some love. But there's a gate on that side. There are gutters all the way around. Yeah, see that? There was, a little bit of drip damage because some of that is new. So they came in, did a good job just making sure everything was good to go. I don't even see any splashback. It's Florida, and this is wood siding. So often the water will splash back up and damage. Here's some right here. I'll show you. That's what it looks like, because the water will splash. It hits the ground, and that's probably before there were gutters, because these gutters look new. I bet there was no gutters here, and it just rained and poured down and just splashed back. And it happens to every home with wood siding in Florida. And so somebody's come in and bondoed it before. Sometimes when it gets really bad, it should be better now that there's gutters. It shouldn't keep doing that. Because you can see this side has none, because the water would have been directed this way and all of it would have dripped right off this edge and splashed up against that side. So if you protect it, it's fine. And they have, done a good job here. Like I said, no, none of that splashback here. There's some chickens or a rooster next door. This side does have a double gate, which is nice. So if you wanted to back a trailer or a little boat or something in here, or lawn equipment, you could do that. There is existing termite. There's an existing termite bond. That's another nice thing. Being that there was wood siding, that was smart for them on somebody's. That was smart that somebody did that. That's what these little things are here. All right, take one more pass back through here. The only thing I can say about this room is, obviously it was a screen porch at one time, and it does not have, they didn't vent it out here, but this is basically just open. It's lovely right now, of course, because it's, 60 degrees in Florida right now. In the dead of summer, that would be an interesting question, because, obviously the AC is new, so that's helpful. It's the air, whatever, whether it be air or heat, is having to travel from in there out to here. That would be a question. Might be something that could be found out as far as getting a 12-month history from the utility department to see how much change there is, in the summertime months. So, again, though, since the AC system is new, that should be pretty good even still. So, all right, one last look. There you go.